we're here tonight for a very simple reason with a very simple proposition, that the American people deserve to know about the origins of COVID-19. They deserve to know how this terrible pandemic that has ravaged the globe and our country, how it got started, and what China's role was in starting it. Now, we've seen a parade of government officials speculate about the origins in one place or another, and there's increasing speculation and indeed increasing numbers of statements from government officials saying that perhaps this virus originated in a Chinese lab, in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Well, I think it's time that the American people got to decide for themselves. It's time that they actually got to see the evidence that the United States government has collected on this issue. And that is exactly what the measure that we are introducing here tonight would do. It would make available to the American people the evidence that the United States government has about the origins of this terrible virus and this terrible pandemic. I'm proud to be joined in this effort by Senator Braun, and I know that he'd like to make a few remarks.
Mr. President.
The senator from Indiana.
Thank you, Senator Hawley. This was an easy one. Over the weekend, the Wall Street Journal gave us some news. We've had a cascade of others weighing in now where this is maybe an epiphany that some have had, that we need to look further into the roots. Look at what our country has gone through. Been a year and a quarter, and it has ravaged not only the United States, but the world. And why, in the sake of simple transparency, wouldn't we want to get to the root cause of it? The World Health Organization made an attempt at it. It was not effective. It looked to me like it was apologizing for what might have occurred in China. President Biden finally has said that we need to put more light and attention on this. So thank goodness, for whatever the reason, we're going to get to the bottom of it. When it's caused this much grief across our country and across the world, it needs to be done. The intelligence communities in our own country are storing information that needs to be revealed to the American public. It needs to be revealed to anyone that can look at it to make sense out of what has happened. So our bill is very simple. Since I've been in the Senate, whether it's weighing in on issues of health care, national security, COVID-19, who disagrees with transparency? The sunshine that reveals everything. I was in a committee hearing, and when you get the two individuals that we've relied on mostly in this whole journey, Dr. Fauci, Dr. Collins, first acknowledging that transparency is paramount and that, yes, we should declassify this information. When we've listened to them help navigate us through this tricky journey, and they tell us earlier today, give us the information. I think that is why here this evening, this will go through with unanimous consent, because it makes sense. And wherever it leads us, we should be happy that we finally might get to the bottom of this. Whatever it reveals, we don't know where it will take us. It's relying on what is most important, on the information we house. Let's make sure the American public can see it, that any group that wants to analyze what happened, including the rest of the world. So it was easy for me to get on board, to get behind something so simple that says nothing more than if we got the information, let's show it, let's not hide behind it. And when you get individuals like Dr. Fauci, Dr. Collins, the director now of the WHO, something is afoot, and we need to find out. And I'm glad that we are here this evening punctuating this so that we get it done.
Mr. President.
The senator from Missouri.
Mr. President, the American people can be trusted with the truth. More than that, the American people deserve the truth. They deserve to know the true origins of this virus. They deserve to be able to evaluate the evidence for themselves. They deserve it, their government owes it to them, and it's time to act. And the American people deserve something else. They deserve to have this government hold accountable that nation which started this virus, whose lies about this virus turned it into a global pandemic, whose lies about this virus prevented our country and many others from being able to address it effectively in time. Of course, I'm talking about China. The American people deserve to have all of the evidence and deserve to have this government's full effort and the effort of our allies and partners in holding accountable China for what it has done, not just to this country, but to the world, and to make sure that something like this never happens again. And so, Mr. President, I ask now unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of S. 1867, which is at the desk.
The clerk will report.
S. 1867, a bill to require the Director of National Intelligence to declassify information relating to the origin of COVID-19 and for other purposes.
Without objection, the Senate will proceed.
I ask unanimous consent that the bill be considered read a third time and passed, and that the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.
Is there objection? Without objection.
Mr. President, I thank the Senate for this action tonight. This is, as Senator Braun said, an important first step. It's only a first step, but the truth is always the right step, and that's the action that we've taken tonight. I yield the floor.